Hello, Fems. Happy Monday. It's our Monday Motivation series, and I love kicking off the week with our FemCity Global members, our favorite experts. So today we're going to talk about goal setting because it is a highly requested class from our members. As we close out the year of 2020 and prepare for 2021, we thought it'd be really great to not wait until January 1st to talk about goal setting, but talk about goal setting today so that we can prepare for 2021 to make it our best year, right? We're going to make it the best year ever. I have asked some of our FemCity Global members that I feel are experts in this field to join us in the conversation. If you are watching us on YouTube or on our Facebook FemCity fan page, we encourage you to join the conversation. We're here. All of us are here with the intention of helping you create your goals so that you can really kick off the year in the best way possible, already set up for success. So we encourage you to join the conversation. If there are any questions that you have, again, we're here to serve you. So please feel free to ask questions about goal setting, and let's get things started. So let's go ahead. I'm going to have our panel just share briefly what makes them such a great expert when it comes to goal setting. So let's go to Karem. Karem, I'm sorry, Karem, Ginny. I can't even get my alphabetical order today. Karem, Ginny, and then Laurie and Nicole. Oh no, Ginny first. Ginny, go. Sorry. It's Monday, 2020. Take it away, Ginny.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Ginny Robertson. And I think one thing that makes me an expert on goal setting is I've set hundreds of goals over my many decades on the planet. And I've figured out a lot of what works and what doesn't work. And I've gotten much more relaxed with goal setting.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, let's go to Karem.
Good morning, ladies. Good afternoon. I think what sets me to be an expert in this area is that I not only is it about energetically feeling the goal, but it's internalizing it and making sure that we are aligned with that goal, that it is in our being. And when I connect with other women, that's the power behind it.
Awesome. Laurie?
Hi, everyone. For me, in my life, as time goes on, I've taken on bigger and bigger and bigger goals. And as I've done that, I've learned a process that works. And also the other part is to be okay with not getting goals and like achieving goals and how to incorporate that into the next step of the process.
Yeah, love that you mentioned that because I think a lot of femmes are feeling anxiety looking at the end of 2020 and feeling really heavy energy that they themselves don't feel like they accomplished what they had set out for. So I love that you shared that because sometimes we have to give ourselves a little bit of grace when it comes to that. Yeah. Nicole.
Hi, everyone. I think for me, what it is that I work with entrepreneurs who are very goal driven, and it's about keeping the goal there. Just because the plan's not necessarily working, don't change the goal. You can change the plan, but don't change the goal, especially when you know why you're going after the goal. I think that's what's really critical to being able to persevere and stay the course for your goal.
Love that. And we do have some femmes that are joining us. Cecilia, all the way in South Texas. Welcome. Cecilia, I love that you're joining us every Monday. I love that. And Lisa, also from Markham, Canada. She's also joining us as well. So thank you so much for being a part of our live series. All right, so let's talk about, because I think a lot of femmes might be thinking that, does goal setting really work? Like perhaps they've had not only 2020, but perhaps 2019, 2018, but perhaps they've gone on this like kind of cyclical, they created their goals and then they're like, so what, does it really ever work? Because, I've never really stuck to them. January 2nd, I'm already like, eating the chocolate cake or, wolfing down a pack of cigarettes or whatever it is that they were trying to go ahead and create new behaviors in their life. Do you think that goal setting really works? And let's go Ginny, and then we'll go to Karem, Laurie, and then Nicole.
I do think goal setting can work, but I think the most important thing, and Nicole kind of tapped into that a bit, is we need to really know not just what we want, but why we want it. And I think sometimes we also make our goals have-tos rather than want-tos, or there's somebody else's goal that we've just tapped into and decided that, I should be doing that too. Or my parents wanted me to go to law school, so I'm going to go to law school. And so I think we really need to be clear on what you want and why you want it. You make your goals want tos and not have tos, and set realistic timeframes. I have been very unrealistic with how long it takes to do anything.
Yeah, I love that you shared that. And I think also 2020 had the theme for so many to realize that connection between somebody else's goals and yours, of what you really want. So I love that you shared that. Karem, you want to add anything to that?
If I can unmute myself. Yes, there we go. I love that Ginny said that. And the only thing that I would add to that is just, I think that it's so important to have goals, because as much as we probably heard this analogy, when we get in the car to drive somewhere, we always have a destination. And we need to have that desire to wake up in the morning and not just to have another day, but to work and live towards something that we desire, that we want so much. And so we have that goal. It's like that address on the GPS. We know, and we can take different detours and we can get disaligned, but at least we know that our mind, our hearts, and that why that Ginny said is set on that one primary thing. And so we know that the direction, we just have to, when we kind of get out of line, we just have to think of the reason why, remind ourselves why was that goal so powerful and why you desire that so much. So I love that.
Yeah. Laurie, do you think goals are essential? Are they good?
Yes, and to build on what both Ginny and Karen said, I read a great book once that talked about women being the subject of our own desires rather than the object of someone else's desires. And we know that, and we're seeing that even more so now with the pandemic. But are we really doing what we need and want to do? And then what Ginny said about, it's our life and it's our work and it's everything, and bringing it together from a heart place. I believe goals work. I would never have accomplished some of the things I did if I didn't set goals. And I really learned about goals setting through my athletics. And a formula that I learned that I have found so very helpful is to actually look at it as, oh, you might hear my cat Bo in the background, is targets, goals, and actions. And your target is like the destination where you want to get to. And then your goal is, who do you want to become? What do you want to learn in the process of getting there? And then actions are the concrete steps. And I found that especially helpful to differentiate between a target and a goal, because that's where the learning comes in. And when we said before about maybe you don't get it, but and I keep saying we have to go ta-da, because what did we learn? And then really acknowledge that and keep moving forward. So I think that's what makes goals work is that awareness of who we're becoming. I always say we need a becoming list as well as a to-do list, and that's the learning and growing. And I think we got a lot of that this year. Maybe not as much on the to-do, but probably a lot on the to-be list.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Nicole?
Wow, that's hard to follow up. That was such great, all three of you. So thank you for that. Goals are essential. And going back to the why or the reason that you're going after them is so incredibly important, because going back to what Karem said about the GPS and you have a destination that you're getting to, what makes it, you're going to reach your goal if you have a more important reason behind why you're going there. So if you're going to the store, you're more likely going to go if you need to buy food for the kids for dinner versus just because you want to go look around and see what's on sale or what's new, right? So really strengthening that part of it, your reason why, is going to help you get there. But that's also part of that growth mindset and helping you to grow more as a person. So that's why I think goals are so essential, because if we don't have them, we're just kind of stuck in one place, right? We have a fixed mindset and a fixed life. The goals are something that we aspire to and look to and help us to grow.
I love that each of you mentioned a bit about how it aligns. A lot of you kind of mentioned like the alignment or the behavior or the focus, or I know for myself personally with FemCity at the beginning of the year, we were on this really strong growth, trajectory of like launching more locations. And we just had all these partnerships and collaborations. And then of course, as everything in March, it all kind of came through. And I want to mention this because I feel that the goals, when you are talking about goals all the time, that really helped me to pull out of like finding my place in this chaotic world of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, but stepping back and just asking myself that question, what's my goal at the end of the day? Like, what do I want to accomplish this year? And for me, it came back to, which a lot of you also have the same themes, is that just helping women. So kind of using my goal to help me pull myself out of the noise to say, what's going to help women? Where, if that's my true goal, my true north, how do I then get to that space of helping women? And so the goal setting for me this year helped me also, not just in kind of like, okay, now for what, for next year, but like when everything fell apart, like, oh my gosh, which way do I go? Just reverting back to you, like at the end of the day, what is your intention? What do you want to get out of it? And then going in little baby steps. And we do have some love coming through. So Nicole, Lisa says, yes, Nicole, heard something from Lisa Nichols on this recently. Put your goal in mold and your plan in the sand. And then Cecilia says, I didn't realize writing down your goals activated them in the universe. I learned that through FemCity, and wow, it's truly magic. And then Lisa says, totally agree, Laurie. This year has been all about reflecting on who you're becoming. I love that. I think that's really, that resonated with me as well. All right. So what would you guys say? So let's say someone's watching right now and they're like, okay, I guess, but how do I get rid of all these negative feelings when it comes to goal setting? Because I haven't been able to accomplish anything. So we're talking to the woman that perhaps had on her to-do list or goal setting list years ago to lose weight or to get in shape or to go to the gym, or perhaps it's to create your own business or to start another multiple stream of revenue kind of component. And they've just lost hope because they have not been successful in goal setting. How can femmes start to really change their past feelings and to then refresh that into really saying, okay, I'm going to set my goals and it's going to be different this time. Ginny, any thoughts on that?
Yes, I believe that if you keep seeing the same things on your goal list every year, I don't do New Year's resolutions anymore, learned about that a long time ago. But if the same things keep popping up every year and you feel really bad about it usually, oh God, I didn't get that done again last year, then take some time, look at what you want. And, it's going to go back to that. Why do you want it? There's an energy around the why that you come up with, if it's yours. If it's not yours, you won't come up with a why, I don't think. But whys have joy in them. So we need to feel joy with our goals. We need to feel that we're going to make an impact on the world with what it is that we want to do. That's why I don't believe that strict dollar goals ever work, because the dollars are just empty things if we don't know what we will do with the dollars. It's just this more driven stuff that I did in the corporate world, more of that, just more doing and less being. And so if we can find the joy in what we're doing, it raises our vibration. It raises the vibration of the people around us. It brings the people to us that we need to accomplish our goals. So let it go. If it's not yours to do, which is a huge thing I've been looking at for the last few years, what is mine to do? And believe it or not everything is.
I wrote down when I was listening to you speak, Ginny. I remember I heard, I went to hear Ariana Huffington speak years ago at a conference here. And she said that on her to-do list, her goal setting list, was to learn another language. And I can't remember which language it was. I want to say Italian. Anyway, it was one that I kind of wanted also. And she said it was on her list for year after year after year. And finally she was like, why is it on even, I don't even want to do this anymore. And having that reflection, is like, you know what, it's been on this list all this time, but at the end of the day, you know what? I don't really want to learn that anymore. I've got all this other stuff to do. So I think it's really powerful when you, just what you said, like you have it, but at the end of the day, like maybe your why isn't that strong anymore. And that's okay to say, you know what, no longer fits with where I want to go. Karem, and you have some love coming through, Karem, from Bridget, our FemCity Philadelphia chapter leader, our president. She said, I joined Karem in a 2-day workshop covering the subject and the content. It was awesome. And she is fabulous. So
thank you.
setting you up, Karem. So thoughts on helping those that have some negativity when it comes to goal setting and looking to say, you know what, maybe this time will be different.
So, Violet, I honestly think, and I really feel that sometimes as women, we need to recognize something in order to let go of it. It's very easy for people to say, let go of something, or let go of whatever it is, and just move on towards it. But we have all types of emotions. And I think when we recognize and say, okay, well, this is what I had, this year, and all of this happened, and I didn't get to do this. And that's okay. Like, loving yourself and say, there doesn't have to be a black or white. There's a variety. And so just recognizing that it's okay, well, that didn't happen. But again, going back to what Ginny said, is it really what I want to do? Also keeping in mind that at the moment that we release it, it's time to move on to, like, okay, who do I want? Who is it that I want to be? How do I want to show up? And why do I want to show up that way? Fulfilling more of what we want, and not really portraying or doing something because it's what seems to be the right thing to do for others, or because of others' opinions. So releasing it, and then realigning yourself, loving yourself a little bit more, and say, okay, new year, because reminding ourselves that we can reset at any minute, right? We always think that it has to be at a particular moment, but it's a choice that we have. So resetting, and then at that point saying, okay, what is it that I really want to do? What am I passionate about? What is, allow your intuition to speak to you in that aspect. And I think from there, you just have that motivation to say, okay, I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to show up as the person that I'm meant to be, that I want to be. And that's the process.
Yeah. I love that Ginny and you just mentioned, and I'm sure Laurie and Nicole will agree, is I love that you guys mentioned that it's not based on a specific time. Like I love Ginny mentioned, she don't wait for December 31st to set her goals. Like there's not a time. And I think so many of us wait. We did an activity for FemCity members. I think it was like last week or the week before. We're like, what are our goals? Like, let's not wait until, that day, that 31st. Let's go ahead and you can start it today, or you can start it, in February. If you feel kind of like a disconnect, you can really change at any moment. Laurie, anything you want to add?
One of my favorite quotes is, and it was originally in Spanish, which I'm not good at, but I'll give you the English version, is, Walker, there is no path. The path is made by walking. And I'll put the proper quote in both languages in the comments later, but we don't know the exact right way to go. We set goals and we intend to go down a path, but the only way to figure out if that's the right way to go is to take action and take a step. And maybe we get partway to that goal, and like the others were saying, maybe we have to release it. Maybe we have to let go. Maybe that wasn't my goal, but I didn't find out until I got there. And I think also too is to get comfortable in the discomfort of not knowing. We want everything to be tickety-boo. Here's my goal and here's my 3 steps and I'm just going to execute. And sometimes we can, and that's great. And sometimes we can't, because crazy stuff happens, totally unforeseen. We don't have control over the circumstances, but keep checking in and trust the unfolding. Take a step. Okay, am I getting closer to where I want to go? Oh, no, ta-da, I learned something. Don't go that way, go that way. And just keep, that sort of kindness and caring and courage, put it all together and just keep moving. Just keep moving. One of the examples that I use is, I was a chubby smoking party girl. There was no way I was going to run any distance or run a marathon, but I just kept moving. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, can I do that? Took 3 tries because of injuries. Finally, I did it. Then I got on the BQ frenzy. I got to run Boston now that I've run a marathon. Took 15 tries, but I did it. I qualified twice and I ran Boston, but I went all the way from chubby smoking party girl. So it's just, and what I've learned through all of that is just keep moving and just pay attention to what's happening, and then you can redirect. And we don't have to wait till September 1st or January 1st or these kind of funny days that we've, from our school days, that we've held on to. So that's what I would say if you're feeling disheartened or lacking energy. And self-care, make sure you take a break and get outside, because that's huge.
Yeah, that is huge. There was a book I read. It's a spiritual book, and I can't remember which one it was. But it was pretty much what you just said. It's like when you're in the car and you can only see with your headlights at night just so much, and then you just drive so much, and then all of a sudden you see a little bit more, and then you drive a little bit more, and that's kind of our own evolution, is that we kind of know the direction, like we want to go, but just inching our way, and then, oh, that looks good. There's no cliff there. There's like nothing, let me move a little bit more forward. And we do have some love coming through. I'll read those out after Nicole. Nicole, any wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, so you touched actually on what I was going to say is, I think, know that progress is made by a series of small steps. And I think that we should celebrate those steps along the way. And that's one thing that, I find that I and some of my clients have done is they just keep going, and they don't pause, stop, and look back and say, oh, wow, I accomplished these little things that all added up to this. Your goal that you're trying to get to, it's a series of small steps, taking inspired action on a regular basis. And those goals don't have to be massive, huge ones either. You can have goals for the day or for the week or the month, right? And accomplishing those also starts to build your confidence and your self-esteem. And I think too, an example like someone like Laurie, you see, maybe you're like trying to get fit. Well, that's a great example of somebody who's done it. So I think looking for those examples too can be really helpful if you're kind of feeling deflated, if you haven't reached your goals in the past. Look for examples of other people that have done it, and then celebrate your small steps along the way.
I'm like talking to myself. I had to unmute myself. I was like, love it, love it. All right, so let me read some of the love that came through, and then we'll start wrapping up. Let me see. I think we left off. All right, Bridget said, spent time on Sunday with my family to discuss our goals as a family. It was amazing and took us to a space that we never entered as a family before. It was wonderful. I love that. Lisa adds, wow, Ginny, so true. I've always had a hard time with specific money goals, maybe because the joy factor isn't strong enough, but writing down what I'll do with the money would totally help. Also some love for Laurie's achievements. And then Cecilia says, love that, follow the light that guides you. And then of course, adding on to what Nicole said, it's the baby steps. I remember being a personal trainer. Laurie's story kind of resonated. I remember all my clients when I was a personal trainer and a Pilates instructor, it was just about just showing up. Just if you could just come into the studio, then you've showed up. And then you're just like, you might as well move your body, right? You may not have 100% into it, but okay, I'll just do this, and then eventually you start feeling better. You're more connected to that. Going back to Ginny mentioned, like your vibration level, and then all of a sudden you're in it, and all of a sudden you're running a marathon, like Laurie mentioned. So, all right, let's go ahead. And since we're ending or closing out, final advice, what's an action step that you would share with a femme who's saying, okay, girls, I got it. I'm going to start working on my goal setting. I'm going to do it today, or maybe this Sunday, like Bridget mentioned. I'm not going to wait. What is the one action step that you think they need to use in order to get started? Ginny.
I would say bring as much emotion as you can into your reason why, to the point that you can actually feel the joy, you can feel the excitement. You may feel some fear, which is really good if it is yours to do. And that's what you can tap into when you don't want to pick up the phone and make that phone call. When you start to feel stuck, you need to tap into that joy. And I always suggest that somebody have a symbol for that they can keep around, a little joy symbol that reminds them, oh, that's why I'm doing this.
Love that. Karem?
Sorry. There we go. I love that Ginny said that, because it's exactly what I was going to say. The best thing I think that we can all do with our goals is have such an emotional attachment to it. And I think that is done by you really digging into who's the person that I am or that I would be with this goal already fulfilled. So taking that goal and that idea as it's already accomplished, and how would you feel? And I think that by asking some deep questions, is How would I speak? How would I act? How would I dress? What would my surroundings be, and what would I be doing all the time? Really internalizing it as it's already been fulfilled, you bring that joy, you're connecting with it. And if you can have that emotional connection, then you can always remind yourself. And one last tip is I would record it. Like, I would write it out and record it, and then use it as an auto suggestion, something to remind myself, something that is on a daily habit. I am suppressing into my subconscious mind. So that would be it. Definitely.
Love that. Laurie?
Learn to love the practice of going after your goals. So, like, for example, I always said, I don't want to be a business owner. I don't want to run a business. I don't like technology. I spent 20 years in the tech industry, but I still walked around saying that. And I was able to switch it around and become sort of wildly fascinated with what was possible. And it helps to have Violet always modeling and showing us all this stuff and how to do it. But, just learn to love the practice of, the really simple things, and then how to build on, as Nicole was saying too, with one step at a time. It's really that. But if you can learn to love the process of learning and figuring it out and realizing all that you've accomplished, maybe you didn't get that specific, measurable, whatever goal, but what did you get in here? What happened inside? Who did you become? And then just keep moving. Don't give up. Don't stop. You can do it. Just keep moving. One little thing, one other thing, and always ta-da all the time.
I love that. I also think when you start moving forward, other opportunities start coming to you. And then all of a sudden you start expanding almost at a faster rate. But that's, I think, a whole other conversation that we could do. I don't want to open up that because I know all of you guys would have so much to say about that. So for femmes that are watching, if you guys want us to do a part 2, let us know. But we can talk about all that other energetic kind of goal setting work. Nicole.
Yeah, so I love the idea that Jenny had about getting a symbol. I also like having a theme or a mantra that I use, and it's associated with that goal. And then bonus points for finding a song that kind of pumps you up and keeps you, kind of is your refocus, that gets you pumped up, energized, excited. I mean, I've heard Eye of the Tiger. I've heard, all different ones. So that's what I would do. And then just as another thing really quick is get help. And accountability. Find a partner to do it with you, or who can help you, coach you, or work with you through that, when you have a block, when you have a little speed bump come up, then hit play on that song to get you aligned with your goal.
Love that. And so we've got some more. Let me just mention, Lisa says I'm going to record my goals on my note memos. Or rather, she's recording her goals on their note memos. And then Martine, all the way in Provence, France, a goal is compulsory. That word is so hard for me to say all the time in life. It's your way to go. If you take your car and don't know where you go, which road are you going to take? I always think of the analogy of like a Waze app or like a Google map, like when you're driving and you have it on your phone. It's like you have to tell it where you want to go, because it will not tell you the instructions. Or even like if you're baking a cake, you need to know what kind of cake before you even put the ingredients together. So if you're going to make like my favorite is like a vegan avocado key lime pie, as an example. It's bizarre, right? Wouldn't have any idea how to put that together. I would need to know what I'm going to make first, then look at the ingredient list in order to put it all together. So goal setting is the exact same thing. Like, here's your goal. Think about what, all the little steps, and then you start putting it all together, and then eventually you have a beautiful cake. Or beautiful wherever you're going. So, all right. So for femmes that are watching and would like to connect with our global members, Ginny, where can femmes find you?
Well, I just want to say first, I'm delighted that no one on this panel used the old model for goal setting about tangible, measurable, Laurie said those words, but in a very different way that, we can get behind on that. So I think this is a new model for a lot of people, and I'm delighted to be on the panel. And it's really so much easier to go first. Thank you. I am the founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community, which really the purpose is to shine a spotlight on women and help them be seen and heard in a bigger and better way. And I'm also the founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman Magazine, which was a print magazine for 12 years locally. I'm in Baltimore and is now online. And I'm always looking for women who want to submit articles or poetry, women who want to advertise and get your feminine business out to a lot of great women, and also women who want to be our cover artists. So you can go to onpurposewomanmagazine.com, look at our current issues, see our back issues. It's a place where you can get fed for your mind, body, spirit, and your business. I'd love to have all of you go over there and read it. Thank you.
Love it. I knew you, Ginny, but I didn't know all that. That's amazing. So thanks for sharing, and great opportunities there for our femmes. So thank you for sharing all of those opportunities. Karem, where can femmes find you?
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, for having us here. This was really nice to connect with all these wonderful women. I am a owner of Next Level Consulting, and you can find me on, join my private Facebook group, Next Level Community, and I do a lot of, I offer a lot of things and good stuff there. And also just, on YouTube, follow me on YouTube, please. I would love to have you following me. I'm constantly putting videos out there that will hopefully support you and help you and align you in your path. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. I know I love the panel. I'm obsessed with this whole entire format. I love it. So I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it too. So Laurie, where can femmes find you?
Yes, thank you as well for including me in this panel. And now I have an opportunity to get to know the other women on the panel, because I really don't know any of you that well. So I will be reaching out. You can find me on my website, lauriehunt.com, same spelling as my name. And I am the founder of the More In Me movement, because we all have more in us. And you'll find various different programs and materials and articles and all kinds of things on my website. Thank you.
Love it. Nicole.
Thank you for having us all here. And thank you, ladies. So inspiring. I really appreciate it and enjoyed it. So I am an executive strategic mindset coach for entrepreneurs. I'm founder of Strategian. It's executive coaching for entrepreneurs. And you can find me at NicoleColwell.com and on Instagram at Strategian.
Love it. And some final love coming through. Martine gave it a thumbs up. And then Bridget says, one of my favorites is Firework by Katy Perry. Ignite your light and let it shine. And then Lisa says, what an awesome panel. Thank you, ladies. I agree. This is wonderful. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this in the library, all of those links, we'll have them for you. So go back over to where you found this, and we'll have all the links so that you can connect with our global members. Makes it really easy for you to learn more about them and stay connected. And if there's anything else that we can do to help you during your journey, please reach out to us. We are happy to be a part and so honored. And thank you so much. We'll see you guys back. Oh, we're not going to be back next week. I was going to say we'll see you next week. We will not be back next week. We'll be back the first Monday in January. And that's a great panel also. It's going to be What the F Just Happened for 2020. So we're going to do a whole spiritual conversation and prepare energetically for 2021. So I hope you guys will join us. Wishing you guys a great holiday. Best wishes for 2021. Love you guys. I'm getting all teary-eyed. See ya in the other year.